So like I was saying, right? I saw this tweet earlier today, just scrolling through things, and this is what it has to say here. For some reason, it randomly got pushed in my feed a couple days after it was posted, but here we go. Right? It's so funny how Kuro bots are constantly pretending that Kuro is so much more generous than Hoyo games when ZZZ gave us 126 limited pulls and 25 standard pulls in the latest patch. Meanwhile, WuWa gives 83 limited pulls and 25 standard, right? So here's ZZZ's crap, right? I don't play this shit. I would rather just play an actual good game instead. Oh, that isn't a gacha than a lot of these, but here you go. Right, this is what ZZZ has. Apparently that's 129 pulls. Cool. And then here we go. This guy quote tweeted from the Renacita guy. WuWa 2.2 asteroid count English. Source WuWa Mania. Right, we have this. Honestly, I find it really sketchy when like they like to include doing your dailies and crap in here. I feel like that should be like separated and isolated entirely. The same thing with like the shop exchange. It's a bit sketchy as well when you count these, because the reality is if you didn't do enough pulls to get the currency to even buy these, you're not even gonna see these anyways. And for a lot of people, you're just not gonna get these. You're not gonna have enough to get all of these. So like, I find it a little sketchy when they like to include them, right? Again, this is assuming you're doing the code redemption. Some of this other stuff where like you have to be like really focused on this stuff. It just doesn't feel genuine there. Right? It feels very disingenuous to include these. Same thing with the endgame modes or whatever. The reality is this is stuff you would have gotten anyways if you met certain criteria, and not everyone can even get all of these. So like, again, it feels really sketchy when they like to count these. At least that's how I like to look at that. Right? They shouldn't count these. They're freaking counting the monthly carding crap in tier 2. The Pepega like battle pass, what? Paid tier? Is this not even enough for a 10 pull, man? Imagine you get paid battle pass, not even 10 pull, and they ask for how much? Right? Imagine. But like, yeah. There you go, 83 pulls, and then this other crap. That's also assuming you claim all of these, you do all of these, you know, you do all of this crap, you get maximum reward, you make sure you get all of these, if you can somehow get them all, because not everyone can, but hey, you know, they like to exaggerate this crap, right? And then you got this guy saying here, this is no WuWa hate, it's just ridiculous how many WuWa players use the Kuro gives us so many free pulls. Oh, you could never. To hate on other games when it's not even true. I play WoW and I've never had this feeling that they give more pulls, and this just proves it. Obviously, their weapon banner is still generous. I don't think so, man. Right? If they were generous, they wouldn't have one in the first place. The characters would come with it complete. They won't need another item separately. Let's be real. Actually, no. If they were actually generous, there wouldn't be a gacha at all. You wouldn't have this Pepega gacha shit at all. And that's just how I like to look at things. Yeah, I know the thing is up. But yeah. WuWa gives around the same amount Genshin does. Funny, if Genshin is stingy with the pulls, then so is WuWa. Well, like I said, this is no hate on WuWa. Just on WuWa players who use this argument to hate on Hoyo games. And look at this is from Genshin here. 13205, Primo crap. And then 82, that's 82 pulls basically. Right, the Primo crap here. Right, this ain't no Primo spaghetti or whatever. Yeah, exactly, gachas are inherently never generous. To some people it may feel that way if they're getting paid or some compensation separately, but that's not for most people, man. It's not. But yeah. You play it because you still enjoy it, like you like the world's design with ray tracing, it's free. But so far, you like their male and female design also. I mean, for me, I don't like the world's design, and I find it completely bland and boring. While the art is pretty, I find them, like, both just extremely lacking in the actual design department. Alright, graphics are cool and all, but honestly, I find freaking N64 games a lot more interesting and engaging. Because Like, after you look past the graphics, the games are not engaging at all. Yeah, they're generous if you work for them and you sleazed up the CEO for a nice salary. That's a different situation, right? Most people are not in that situation. But yeah. You know... It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Like, it's the same crap, man. It's the same garbage. It's the same fucking garbage. Whether they like it or not. They don't want to admit it, but there we go. I'll have to go through that stuff and clip it later. But yeah, it's just ridiculous with these people. Right? Like, the reality is, if they truly were, they would get rid of all that crap entirely, man. They would get rid of it, all of it entirely. Fuck that shit. Like, how about we get rid of it entirely? And then, of course, you know, you look at the Pepega crap people are posting here, man. I find them annoying. The way they're set up, man. I find them extremely annoying. But, like, I also just find the combat in WuWa as a whole just awful. It doesn't work for the type of game it is. You'd think for having an open area and stuff to move around in, they would design the stuff to, like, fit the game. But it doesn't. Like, honestly, I would say you could improve WuWa by deleting the open world entirely. Just completely get rid of it, because it's worthless anyways. All you're doing is just running from point A to point B anyways. In a straight fucking line. You're using the wall running and the gliding thing or whatever to just skip everything. Because there's nothing interesting there in the first place. It's just an annoying chore to go through, so you want to go through it faster. That's just the reality of the thing. There. And, like, let's be real. Do you really care about opening a random Pepega chest for like 1/20th, 1/32 of a pull? You gotta open like 31 more after you open the chest to get one pull? Do you actually really like that? Like, do you actually like it? Yeah, because the game is missing the actual game, right? What's your runtime when you're playing? Are you actually playing the game when you play WuWa over the course of that month? Or is 99% of the time you spent logged in just you doing a bunch of annoying and tedious chores to farm an excessive amount of materials so that you can level up a character to use in the 5 minutes of content they actually do have? Alright, when you consider the ratio there of your time spent, it's not exactly great. At least that's just how I look at it. It's not exactly great. Yeah, exactly. And that's why I don't touch a lot of them. Here's the thing though, man. You know, for as crap and all the controversies around shit like Assassin's Creed Shadows, at its core, it's still probably a much better game than fucking WuWa, man. We can poke fun at the whole historical accuracy, the fact that they made Yasuke gay or whatever, the filing of the culture and everything, right? But if you took that out and just reskin it to something else, at its core, it's still probably a lot more interesting anyways. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, that's the thing. Even those crap games are still better. There's the actual thing in WuWa, it's missing the actual fucking game. They just pad out your playtime an excessive amount by forcing you to drip feed when you can get resources by an absurd amount. It's the same problem with Genshin. You know, the reason why people keep liking to praise all the movement stuff in there is because it lets them skip over some of the bullshit faster. And like nothing in the world there is like built around and designed around the things in there. Like, let's be real. You mostly don't explore open world games because, like, yeah, The thing is, the exploration, a lot of them just suck. Honestly, if they made it, I actually feel like they could sell you on actually like exploring the stuff in there and give you an actual genuine reason to want to go around. They would have done a good job if they were to do that. What's funny is, ironically, the games that, at least for me, that give me the best sense of exploration going through them are games that are technically not open world and weren't completely designed with that in mind. We're like, oh cool, I can go look, I can go here, I can go look at this thing. But what's this item over here? What do I do here? Or some where like they don't even give you the map. You have to figure it out on your own, and you're going out there and you're actually genuinely finding interesting things. Because there's nothing in WuWa's world. It's completely empty. Everything is a flat, straight line in the WuWa's world. So even though it doesn't look like it, the reality is, the wall running in WuWa basically makes every terrain a straight, flat fucking line. So it becomes infinitely less interesting. At the same time though, the combat just is not suited for constantly going in, attacking stuff, dropping combat, running to the next group, and doing the same thing in a chain over and over again. It's not suited to that type of gameplay. It is really, really terrible for that. This is why, there's a reason why all the content in WuWa is literally just you fighting trash mobs in a stupid circle with a timer. Or trash bosses with in a stupid circle, again, with a timer. They completely ignore all the movement stuff, all the other things you can do around, because the reality is, the game and its combat is not built around or for it. It's just there to trick people as a marketing standpoint.